I've been discussing some events that are taking place, world events, and some of the Bible prophecies, such as Ezekiel's prophecy, and about the three major wars that are coming to this earth. Psalm 83 talks about a war that will take place from the Islamic nations against Israel. They will fight them and defeat them in military battle with supernatural help. Also, in Ezekiel 38 and 39, it talks about Gog of Magog. Magog is the land of the Ukraine right now. It looks like Gog, the world leader of that area, will be Putin, and he will eventually come down against Israel for the spoils of the war that they have gained. And then, of course, there's a third major battle, and that'll be the battle of the Antichrist, which will be launched against Israel, the nation of Israel in the Middle East. And then after that, and Ezekiel prophesied this, and he said that God will finally regather the nation Israel, and they will have one king over them. Now, this is referring to the millennial reign, and of course, when Jesus returns for 1,000 years to rule and reign, he will be the ruler of all the world. But David is going to be the king over the nation of Israel. And it's interesting that God would bring this out to us and tell us about David, about how great a leader he was. You would think, well, why not Moses or maybe Elijah or some other prophet or priest or other king throughout history that was very successful through Israel's history, or even somebody like the Apostle Paul or Peter, James, any of them. Why David? Well, David had a certain character about him that really needs to be highlighted as far as leadership skills, and that is the spirit of being single-minded as opposed to double-minded. A double-minded man is very complicated. He's always avoiding issues, trying to find a remedy, beat around the bush, think it through, get everybody's opinion, and never acts upon anything. But a single-minded person sees a problem, makes a decision on what to do about the problem, and then acts on that problem. And this, of course, was the character of King David. He made a lot of mistakes, but God will choose him and has chosen him to be the king of Israel, and for other characteristics as well and qualities, but without a doubt, his single-mindedness. He stayed focused on what he had to do at different times, especially in battle. When a lion or a bear came against the flock, he fought and destroyed the lion and the bear. When he came across the Goliath and the army, just as a young boy, he didn't go home when he heard Goliath chastening and scaring off all the Israelite soldiers, and he just looked at him and said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that would defy the living God? And he didn't go home and say, let me ask my dad if I should do this, or let me pray about it first, or anything like that. And when his brothers thought he was arrogant, and that's what complicated people will do to single-minded people. They'll think you're being arrogant, you're acting rash, you don't know what you're getting yourself into, things like that. And but David, he acted, and he acted quickly. And always, when you have a fight, it's better to respond quicker. The sooner, the better. And this is one of the reasons why I know I'm confident to say, terrible to say it, but I'm sure that Putin is going to take over the Ukraine, because this administration, and bluntly this president, is one of those double-minded people that doesn't know his own mind. He doesn't know how to stand up in a fight. He's been a conniver all of his life. He's had things handed to him all of his life. He's talked himself out of things all of his life, and lied throughout this administration for sure, as we bear a look at what's going on. So we've got a problem right now in our nation, because we do not have a single-minded leader. We have a double-minded leader who backtracks and avoids everything. And he will call somebody else that is a leader, single-minded leader, he'll call them rash and arrogant and conceited, but leadership requires single-mindedness and purpose. The double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. And this nation right now, America, is unstable in all of its ways. We need to pray for America. We need to pray for Jerusalem. We need to pray for Israel. And we need to, when we've done all to stand, stand. That's what a single-minded person does. He knows he's got to stand up to a fight, and when it's time to do it, he stands his ground. And that's what will defeat the enemies. But we don't have that kind of backbone in the administration, and sadly in too many of our Christian leaders today. And as a result, the terrorists are coming over and running roughshod while we hang our heads in the sand and say we're worshiping God.